Wonder if it should have a separate agreement. Or, I mean, if it's all, I guess it doesn't matter, if it's all part of the same, but we're only talking land lease anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if they dig at the fuel
Never
farm,
mind.
they dig at the fuel farm. And,
That's different. That'll be different.
That'll be
Then
different.
that's 20, however many square feet they'll no
yeah,
longer.
and,
be.
yeah, and we'll just have to make that one change.
Actually, they'll still have to continue to lease that.
But space, they'll still own the space, they'll just dig up the tank.
Yeah, they'll just be taken out of lease or whatever.
We can't.
Well,
No, I don't know.
I think you'll have it ready.
I'm working on this. We're just changing to make sure the square footage is right. And then just present it at the next meeting. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn this on. Can everyone on WebEx
I
hear?
told you there was a lot.
This.
Oh, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Talk about it.
That's about half.
Let's talk with a lengthy agenda, but. Right.
The lengthy signing.
Like she's signing, but we'll show them how it's done.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Hi,
Ready?
Paul, can you hear us?
I sure can. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can. Gatan, can you hear us okay? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. All right.
Bhutan, you look so much younger on TV.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda would be approval of the agenda.
We're gonna
Motion to
do
approve.
roll call.
I'm sorry, roll call. Got ahead of us.
Bruce Schreiner,
Yes.
Doug Thorne,
Here.
Maggie Marnoka. Here.
All
And
right.
Tom Schaff will be absent today.
Okay, next item would be approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item would be approval of minutes from October 29th, 2025.
Having read the minutes online, I approve of the minutes as written.
Second,
Second.
moved in second, there are no additions or corrections. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda would be claims in the amount of $104,899.70. Those two were sent to the board by prior email. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. I would, looking at the claims and everything, and I see that we purchase the winter coats. How often do you do that? Once a year?
No.
Once, and that's it. Okay.
Yeah,
I just wondered. I knew we had a lot of new employees and everything, and yeah, I was just.
right.
Is that once per employee?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, it's, some of these winters out here, they are bitter cold. There's no.
Oh, I'm not saying they
If
don't
break
need them.
down, if, like I said, if they'll have a breakdown, in a remote part of the airport and have to walk, they can get.
Mhm.
If I depend on them just to provide their own winter gear, won't be sufficient. So
No,
it's a
and
safety thing.
Yeah, and it's part of the contract
That's
that
what I was
we
gonna ask, part of
provide,
the collective
yes.
bargaining agreement.
Uh-huh, and the other, employees that work in the elements, we provide
Yeah,
them.
and it's unusual for so many at once too. That's, and those are not cheap, those good Carhartts are not.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my only question.
Any other questions? Bruce? No. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Claims are approved. Which takes us to the airport manager.
All right, great. Welcome, everybody. Couple of things. First, I want to bring up that we did have, our new air traffic controller that we hired. Dylan has moved on. It wasn't, it was decided after his training and such that he wasn't quite ready. So it was an amicable parting of the ways. I've already started advertising for another controller, but we're really working on doing a better job of vetting these applicants ahead of time. And we're totally revamping the interview process. I mean, it's too much effort and cost to bring in, especially if somebody relocates, from somewhere else to come in and not work out. So we need to do a better job up front of that. So that's something you should know we're working on. We have soon to have three brand new airfield maintenance techs. Nathan Hicks is already on board and David Baker. And the third, his name is Pat Weaver. He's been offered and signed his offer letter. And he'll be coming on board. I assume he has to give 2 weeks notice to his existing employer, and then he'll be on board. Pat is actually an airport tenant. He rents a T hangar. So he's a pilot, has an aviation background. I think it'll be a plus. And he's actually applied before and wanted to go to work here as an airfield maintenance tech for a long time. So I'm anxious to have everybody on board and have all those positions filled. We're in the process of training everybody. So that's a ongoing process. Just an update on the air traffic control tower damage caused by the lightning. Emergency radio we've been in constant contact with them. They're still awaiting a few more parts. Same with Michiana Contracting, although Michiana does have the lights in. So those are ready for installation that were damaged by the lightning. But the regulator, which is so important to the tower, that allows them to be able to manually turn on and off and pilots to control the lights on the airfield, that component is still being manufactured. Our year-end purchases have all been complete. We're still just waiting for one more outstanding PO. Any of the money for projects that's been approved by the board that needs to be carried over to next year, those are all done and in. And then one of the things we're working on right now, Karen is with the air traffic controller, is renewing our FCC radio frequency licenses every 10 years. That has to happen. And so that's in the process right now. And then we're planning on participating in the Winterfest parade. And I really would like to show off our snow and ice control broom. Not many people get a chance to see one of those in person. And we actually had it off the airfield in a parade once before. The previous one, with which they're just about the same. This one's actually just 2 feet wider than the other one. And the Sesquicentennial parade in 2008 was in that one. So the maintenance crew are kind of excited about that. So that we're hoping to have in the parade, along with, weather permitting, along with our loader with the big snow blower that's on the front of that thing, which is so I think people like seeing those things. Other than that, that concludes my report. Do you have any questions?
Got one question here.
Can that be driven to downtown?
Have I?
Does it have to be hauled or driven?
Oh, it's driven with in the past, like when we take it to the central garage, it has a police escort because it is 2 street lanes wide. And so then I've asked Herbie if he would check his schedule. I know he's like the caregiver for his elderly parents, but he's hoping that he'll be available to be the operator of it because he drove it in the Winterfest parade. He has many more hours of experience in that vehicle than anybody else, but should be, as long as they're careful. You turn you're not taking it as wide as you can, you turn it. And then also too, I'm inquiring with the HR, just to be sure our insurance covers the vehicle operating off of
That's an
airport.
excellent idea.
Yeah. Well, I know that when we purchased it, we talked about insuring it, I remember somebody from the controller's office, Gail, probably asking if it's ever operated off the airport property, and I said only to go to central garage and back for maintenance. Obviously, this is not going to central garage; it's going to a parade. So I want to make sure that our insurance carrier knows about it. We have whatever we need, a waiver, whatever, to make sure that there's no, the semi hits it, on Bristol Street, and I don't want them to say, well, was on the way to central garage, so we want to make sure that we're covered. Same with the loader. The loader's going to, so just make sure we're got our bases covered on those things. Good.
There are no other questions. We'll move on to new business. First item would be a proposed resolution authorizing the Andy to execute T-hanger lease agreements in between board meetings. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any questions, any discussion? Hearing none.
This is, okay.
Rob?
I was gonna say, this is a renewal of the right that the board has granted me in the past. So if we have a prospect come in and needs a hanger immediately, you need not wait till next board meeting. And because these leases are all boilerplate, essentially, pre-approved by the board and by legal. We're just adding the aircraft contact information, those things in. The board has authorized me to sign those leases so that they can move into the hangar. Then at the next board meeting, you ratify my signature. So that's what that is.
And Doug, I've got a question.
Yes.
So, with these new agreements, any new agreement, are we modernizing our pay schedule or our lease levels,
You mean increasing the fees?
increasing fees?
Not at this time.
Okay,
Not on the T hangers.
no,
No.
okay.
They have gone up
Yeah.
since I came back on board.
Mhm.
They went up. We sort of standardized them, but we'll have to wait to see what the effects are of
Yeah.
the income to the city,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then also what other, how much can we charge and based on what they are in terms of the condition, age and such, compared to what other airports, we have to be
Yeah.
competitive.
Right.
I mean, we can say, let's start charging $300 or $400 a month for a hangar that we've been getting 100 for. But if, nobody will lease them, doesn't do us any good.
Yeah. Thank you.
There are no other questions. All in favor of this proposed resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution is approved. Thank you. It's our no con schedule for her pies. Next item would be
It's good.
ratification of the hangar 16 lease.
It's essentially
We
what,
need a motion.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of waiting for that.
I move we ratify.
Second.
Questions? What?
I didn't see this yet.
You signed it?
Uh-oh.
that's example of what we just discussed.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, same thing?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lease agreement for a T hangar.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was something special.
Well,
No. This is for T hangar number 16. Is that correct?
that's right.
Yeah, or-
Okay.
Is that correct, Karen?
Yes.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Lease is ratified. Next would be, the T hangar, the new 10-unit T hangar lease rates. Do we have a motion to consider these new lease rates?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Andy?
Okay, we've got the new T hangars. We have 2 hangars which are the same size, which is essentially a hangar and a half. That's the configuration of the hangars, whereby they are T-shaped. Their 2 end hangars ended up being larger. Those, based on going rates and what other airports are charging for like kinds of hangars, I'm proposing a $600 month-to-month lease fee for those, and for the other 8, $400.
Questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next would be, request to ratify actions taken by the airport director related to scope of work forms for the wireless repairs to the air traffic control tower. Do we have a motion to ratify?
So moved.
Second.
We can second any questions, Andy?
Because these are previously discussed purchases that need to be made related to the repairs and replacement of equipment that was damaged by the lightning switch. So, everything's obviously been run through the insurance and been approved. So we're just awaiting your approval and then also the arrival of the equipment and scheduled date for install. We're still limping along on the backup radio. It's wired from second floor restroom. Which, you know, again, just to refresh your memory, after taking some of the filters off that were installed when the AWAS was put in to take some static out, that prevented that backup radio from having the required distance that it needed. It was ideal for the controllers to be able to talk to incoming aircraft. So once we got that solved, we were able to at least get this Band-Aid back up. So the tower's still open and operating, only on a single frequency, not both ground and air. So it's sufficient and it's safe until we're able to get these permanent repairs done.
When do you think that'll be?
Hopefully within the next 30 days. Karen's been talking with the DRS.
Could be the next 30 to 60 days, depending on the delay of equipment and then installation and testing, and it could be, but hopefully 30 days.
Yeah, I know that regulator from Michiana, that has to be, it's not like they have one of those on the shelf. Somebody has to build that. That's why it's so
It's about
expensive.
1,000 minutes.
Yeah.
There are no other questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Motion carries. Which will bring us to another proposed resolution authorizing the airport director to sign quotes and proposals as it relates to the control tower lightning strikes. We have a motion to approve the proposed resolution.
So moved.
second,
Moved and seconded.
This is essentially, it's like a housekeeping type of process. It needs to be approved by the board, essentially ratifying what we've done already related to the lightning strike and the damage.
Questions? Board? Hearing none.
no,
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And that takes us to a proposed quote from ELS Wireless for the installation of radios on trucks 11, tractor 19, and the Kubota ATV. Do we have a motion to approve this purchase?
so moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Andy?
Yeah, the maintenance crew were reporting to me that they didn't think the range on these radios was sufficient. Sometimes when we get down to the end of the runway, they said that they couldn't hear the tower or vice versa. So after I looked into it, I discovered that previously the wrong antennas had been installed on some of these. So the antennas need to be replaced, and frankly, some of the radios were just old and it's time for them, they've outlived their useful life, they need to be replaced. So that's what this is for. Yeah, because the ERS came in and looked at all our radios, and they also are gonna install the one in the room as well. So that's the fix they're recommending.
Questions? from the Board?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item would be a proposed release agreement for Mr. Or,
All right.
that's what I thought though. Got nervous there for a second. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Andy?
It's our new farmer, this being his first year. Of course, when he came through the gate with his equipment, he misjudged the width of the gate and dragged his equipment through it and put a nice bend in the gate that didn't allow it to close any longer. So he paid for a replacement. It's been installed and inspected by our maintenance crew and found to be sufficient. So it's time to let him off the hook. So that's what I'm proposing.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No.
Hearing none. All in favor of approving this proposed release, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
It is the widest gate we have too, so. Yeah, 2 feet on each side.
I bet his aim would be better next time.
Those are not
I
cheap.
bet he blew every bit of profit he made out of
I
here.
don't, I hope not.
Oh, I guarantee.
I don't know where he sold his beans, you know, if China's not buying them.
All right. Next item will be a proposed agreement from Griffin Plumbing and Heating to replace Southside Maintenance Building boiler heating system with some new efficient gas heaters. All right. Do we have a motion to approve this agreement?
So moved.
Second,
Second, Andy?
Well, we're looking at a, 40-year-old building and the boiler has been continued to give us trouble over time. Some of the heaters actually inside of the garage have parts that have been robbed off those, so like out of 4 of those heaters, maybe only 1 still worked. The one in the sand bay didn't work at all. So it was just time. I mean, the expense to try to fix the old boiler and the other heaters was just gonna be, it didn't make any sense when we know the system needs to be replaced. So we, got a proposal from Griffin. We were able to find the funds within the existing 2025 budget, and Megan in the mayor's office, approved some transfers. So, if you approve it, then Griffin will come over and do that install before it gets too cold and all the pipes freeze.
Questions from the board?
no,
Might have been the last boiler, like the city had any other boilers. You're kind of going by the wayside.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Motion carries. Which takes us to. Turn to page 2, or no, I didn't turn to page 2. Hangar 39, land lease extension. We have a motion, to approve proposed year extension to the land lease for hangar 39.
so moved.
Second.
Second, Andy?
Yeah, well, obviously, Hangar 39 LLC. You received a letter, from Scott Welsh, one of the 3 partners. Consists of Hangar 39 LLC, the others, I think, are Nipco and Patrick Industries, with a good airport tenant. They are requesting there've been a lot of improvements in the hangar, including a new ramp they've recently put in. And they're just requesting a 20-year land lease extension. They have 10 to go, and they're asking for 20 more this time. And I'm recommending to the board that you approve that. Gutan is here. He's the chief pilot for Hangar 39 LLC. I don't know if he has anything he wants to add to that. Not, I think I indicated this to him that today that the board we're asking you to take action on approving the extension. And then once that's done, then Kevin and I will hammer out a lease draft for them to look at between now and the next meeting. And once both parties agree, then come to you for your ratification, hopefully in the December meeting. Does that sum it up pretty well, Bhutan?
Yeah, that's pretty much everything. You said everything I wanted to say.
Okay, good.
All right,
It's good to see you anyway.
efficiency
Yeah.
in presentation. Question from the board? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next would be a quote from True Coat Roofing related to the replacement of the hangar 33 roof. The amount of $11,720. We have a motion to approve this quote.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Hangar 33, AKA the Talos hangar. So titled because it was originally built by a group of employees who worked at the Talos missile manufacturing plant in South Bend back in the 50s, I think. So they built this hangar as their clubhouse hangar for a lot of years, reverted to the ownership of the city. Back, one of my previous stints here as airport manager, I think maybe around 2012 or so. Anyway, it's a pretty old hangar. It's currently leased to Kevin Orth. And then Scott Duck shared the hangar with him. Scott reported to me about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago that had been a significant leak in the roof for some time, which he just not told me about. So after we took a look at it, it was pretty clear that the roof was shot. We got a quote for the replacement of that roof, and we're able to find some funds within the 2025 budget to repair it. So I'm asking for the board's approval to move forward with that.
And if I'm reviewing the document, it appears that we're accepting the alternate bid.
Yes, I think so. It adds some insulation. I think that building at one time had heat. It is insulated. So at some point in the future, if we wanted to add heat, if there's insulation, you can. You know, it makes sense to do it.
All right. Any other questions from the board?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Motion carries. Which brings us to the proposed new master contract with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. We have a motion to approve
so
this
moved.
resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Andy?
Thanks. Megan's here to talk about that. Would you like to?
Sure.
Well, we have just 4 AFSCME employees here.
I'm Megan Irwin, Chief of Staff for the City of Elkhart. Moving into negotiations, we knew we were going to be in a tough position with the unions, given the passage of Senate Enrolled Act 1 by the state and the anticipated revenue impact. So this contract does not include any direct pay increases for AFSCME employees. It holds them at the 2025 rates. There are some minor clarification items in the contract, but the primary change to the contract is the allowance of 2 15-minute paid breaks that can be taken combined as a paid lunch if the work group chooses, and if it works out with the supervisor's need for operations. So that was one thing that they were really asking for, and we were able to oblige and added that to the contract. We also added an extra bereavement day for aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews, which is intended to be added also to the city contract for all employees, so that'll align them with the rest of the city there. Any questions?
Bruce?
We're clear on the 15-minute break. If they use the 2:15 as their lunch, they don't take lunch, they still get the 8 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Negotiation team.
Yeah.
Well, and,
Yeah.
but you see, currently they've had the option to take a 30-minute unpaid lunch,
Right.
or skip that lunch and get off work.
At 2 instead of 2:30.
Right.
Right.
So that really,
Yeah.
that won't change.
No.
They'll just have, but we'll make sure that the supervisor understands that this is not, that doesn't mean show up at the time clock at 1:30. I didn't take a break today, so it's very clear that there has to be time elapsed before and after the 15-minute break.
Right, and if they choose not to take one or both of them on a day, they don't get to go home early.
Right.
It's still the same. They're scheduled for an 8-hour workday, and that remains the same whether they take
Right.
1 or 2 breaks.
And the time And when they take the break, it's still at the discretion of the supervisor. So if we're out there plowing and we've got aircraft coming in, they're, they can't pull out, well, time for break, see you later.
Right,
They can go around a few times while I'm muting them up. No, they'll understand that.
yeah.
The city's very generous. I mean, it's a good contract.
Okay. If there are no other questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Um,
Motion carries.
Thanks, Mary.
Schreiner, you, it's the signature. Uh-oh. Next item would be progress estimate for. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, progress estimate for the runway 927 joint sealant progress with interstate sealant and concrete. We have a motion to consider that.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Andy or
Paul,
Paul?
you want to talk now?
Yes, thank you. I apologize that I'm not there in person this week up here in Wisconsin, helping out with my in-laws for the Thanksgiving holiday here. So I apologize. I'm not there in person. Yeah, this is the runway 927 joint sealing that we got all that joint sealant in just in the nick of time here before the fall/winter weather hit in. So the joint sealant is there. They still need to come back in the spring and do the painting, which will be done as soon as we get 50 degrees and rising for that paint to cure. But this is to pay them for the work completed to date.
Questions for Paul? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the TIF payment? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Progress estimate for the 10-unit T hangar. We have a motion, that's progress estimate number 7, payment to New Tech Construction. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Andy?
Paul, want to take that one, Paul?
Yes, thank you. This is progress estimate number 10. So this is to New Tech for $190,475 there. They are, this is about 50% of the pay, but they're a lot more than 50% done. They're rapidly approaching completion here. We need to finish up some electrical inspections, some site grading, and so forth like that. And so we're hoping that this building will be completed by the next board meeting. But they're turning this in right now to get paid. So this is number 7. I can happily go through any of the details on this. I'm not sure if you have that packet in front of you, but I'm happy to go through those if you want to know the details on exactly where they're at contract to date.
Any questions from the board members for Paul?
No.
All right. You can save your breath, Paul. All those in favor of approving progress estimate number 7 for New Tech signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next would be the partial pay request for AIP 40 for the T hangar. Paul?
Yeah. This is there are several grants that are reimbursing the T hangar project. So AIP 40, AIP 41, the next item too. So this pays for some professional services fees on this grant, and then AIP, the next one will also be the same type of thing. But this is for a total amount of $6,035. So that will be the total amount of the request. $5,432 will come back to Elkhart from the federal government, and then $301.75 will come back from the state on this reimbursement.
Any questions from board members? All those in
I don't
favor?
think you
No,
did the
we
motion.
didn't do them.
Oh, did we not?
I missed that one, sorry.
It's okay. So did I,
My bad.
obviously. All right. Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Moved in second. Now, any questions from the board?
no.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next, I need a motion for AIP 41 partial pay request for FAA reimbursement to the airport in the sum of $59,000.
So moved.
Second,
Been moved and seconded. Paul,
Yes, this is also for the T hanger project. This one, it reimburses partially pay app number 7 for new tech that we just approved, and then basically it takes this grant up to 90%. So once we get substantial completion, the two grants that we have can draw above 90%, and we'll get those down to zero. But for this one, the total amount of 59,000, the federal government is going to send you $56,050 back to Elkhart. There is no state PO yet because the grant is too new and the state has not issued their purchase order. For the time being, then, that makes the local share $2,950, which will be divided in two once the state PO is in place.
Any questions of Paul? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then next, we need a motion to approve the grant pre-application for the approval of land acquisition for the runway 27 approach protection. First, we need somebody to make a motion, and then you can ask that
So
question.
moved.
second.
Been moved in second. Mr. Schreiner, you have a question?
Does this have anything to do with the trees?
Yeah, we've got a lot of trees that have been poking up into the approach of 27 for a number of years. And it's raised our minimums. So something that we need to take action on. So we need to get,
Who owns that land?
there are 7 or 8 different owners of different parcels that are part of the grant.
Right beside the kayak ramp?
Yeah, to the east of there. Yeah. Couple, actually not right in front of it, but they're more on the back side of that, on the County Road 6 side.
Oh,
But then there's a large parcel that's owned by Jerry and Natasha Roberts. They're the ones who we talked to before about purchasing their property. So anyway, Paul's.
Yeah, I might add that. So this is just the pre-application. It's just to give the FAA idea on what we plan to be asking for in this fiscal year. It's due by December 1st. It aligns with the capital improvement plan you approved last month. And I believe we did talk about the approach minimums and the need for the project. So we will actually scope this project for professional services and go through in detail with the city. I believe we've got a meeting with Megan and Kevin and Andy next Thursday, I believe, to go through some of the processes and to determine exactly how we want to approach this. So the number in this application right now is just a placeholder. It's just the same number that you approved in your capital improvement plan, and that's okay. The FAA doesn't expect a real number until approximately the May board meeting. These will be due around the May timeframe. they haven't advertised the official dates in the Federal Registry yet, so we'll wait and see. But the earliest would be April, possibly May. And this is going to pay for just the professional services, hopefully to get all of the appraisals, review appraisals, all the legal work, surveying, those sorts of things in a position to be able to negotiate with the property owner. So that's what this is all about.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I remember.
I have one.
Mr. Fish?
How many acres is it, Andy? And also, is it contingent upon getting all the parcels at one time? Or Paul?
Yes, Dwight. So there's two major parcels that comprise most of the acreage, and that's those two combined are around 30. The balance of the acreages are much smaller, ranging from a tenth of an acre up to 2 acres on the smaller parcels on the edge. The and no, they're not. It's not contingent. It's not an all or nothing. The two parcels, the larger parcels that are on runway centerline, would be the most important to the airport because those are the ones that have the trees that are growing into the approach that are impacting the approach minimum. So those would be the ones that we would prioritize pretty high. The smaller parcels that are off to the north and in the back actually don't have any obstructions on them now. But while we're doing this and the FAA is offering to potentially pay for those and reimburse the communities for those parcels here within a couple of years, we want to take advantage and get all of the aviation easements over those properties at a minimum that we can. If we can negotiate something beyond that, we'll see how that all turns out. But we want to try to take advantage of what we can. But Dwight, if only one of the landowners comes, we reach an agreement with one of the landowners, then we would proceed with that landowner and not necessarily the others. So that's.
Thank you.
Paul, just to clarify, we're purchasing easements, not actually purchasing the real estate. Is that accurate?
Yeah, the way the FAA has it in their plans, and this was based on the airport layout plan, they are what's referred to as aviation easements, which are air rights above the property to control obstructions. But that process involves an appraisal and review appraisal that establishes the fair market value of the fee simple, and then goes to finding the easement value from there. So sometimes in these negotiations, the landowners do come back and say, we would just prefer to sell the whole parcel. That's sometimes how this evolves. And sometimes the city could say, well, the value of the aviation easement is so much of a percentage of the fee simple value of the property, you may decide to offer fee simple. So that all kind of depends on how the situation plays out.
Okay, thank you.
So as of right now, there's no purchase of any homes or buildings?
No,
No. Okay. Okay.
There's no
Right.
purchase at this point in time.
nope.
Right. No purchase of anything. At a minimum, the aviation easements would control the you'll probably recognize this term, the Part 77 surface to runway 27. So that would be a 50-to-1 from the 51. So every 50 feet out from the runway, you go 1 foot up. That surface we would buy based on what the feds prescribe 5 feet below that surface so that we could trim all the vegetation below that surface. And then that allows you to keep your approach minimums to your runway intact. And then that aviation easement would be perpetual right to keep those trees trimmed and so forth. And of course, that's at the airport's expense. It's not at the property owner's expense, but they would grant perpetual rights to go in and maintain that vegetation.
If there are no other questions, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Which takes us to the
Q.
26 FAA IIJA grant application. Paul? Oh, wait, I need a motion to approve, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. All right, Andy, Paul?
Yes. Yep. This is still the T hanger project. So this is the IIJA, your next round. There's a fiscal year 26 slug of money, and that's $305,000 that you're available with all shares for the 26 allotment. So the T hanger project proceeds forward. As we mentioned before, that progress estimate number 6 or 7 didn't get fully paid. So right now that's being carried locally. When the 26 grant gets reimbursed, then you'll be able to pay yourselves back for those funds you're fronting. So that will be one more grant in the line. So it's just a continuation of what we already have going on.
Questions from the board?
What's that leave in retention?
There's yeah, I think when it's all said and done, it's about 300,000 and change. I don't have that spreadsheet right in front of me, but it's roughly 350,000 will be the balance beyond the grant, and that was comprised of the 2 asphalt overlay options, and that most recent firewall approval. So that's all in.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Which takes us to privilege of the floor. We have made it through the agenda, but for that. Hearing nothing but Karen moving pieces of paper,
Okay.
we could move on to adjournment. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All right. You're done, people. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanks, Paul.
Happy
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Poston and Pecan.
Okay.
Always the
travels.
same.
Thank you.